Dr. Roaten, tell us a little bit more about your practice and the types of athletes you take care of.
Well, my name is John Roaten, and I specialize in pediatric sports medicine surgery. I work at Children's Health Andrews Institute in Plano, Texas, where most of my athletes are children, adolescents, and high school athletes.
We've talked a lot today about the economics of youth sports, and as a pediatric sports surgeon, you're intimately involved with the management of care of these athletes, injury prevention, things like that. Tell me a little bit more about how you see our role in helping kind of keep kids in the game.
Well, I think with the growth of sports, and especially both the volume and intensity within the state, I think our role is going to become even more important than it used to be, and there's going to need to be more of us. I think in terms of like the economics of sports is just making sure that, you know, collectively as a healthcare entity and as a personal professional and as a state, that we have the resources to make sure that these kids have access to care.
Tell me a little bit more about access. How do we ensure that athletes get into the appropriate specialists, get the appropriate workup? What kind of things need to be in place for that to happen?
Well, I think that you got to have people available to see them, and so I think that you know that's something that I think collectively as an organization and as a state that we can in some way provide that the care is going to be available to the patient in terms of funding and just like all the little things that go into access of care. Transportation is often an issue. Simple things like that. And I think that having, like the organization I work for has a huge network of trainers that can help identify injuries, get these kids to specialists, and generally a very quick timeline so that they can get the right treatment.
Yeah, I think certainly parents and coaches know about athletic trainers, and of course as orthopedic sports surgeons we are intimately involved with athletic trainers. Can you talk a little bit more about the value athletic trainers have to kids on fields and keeping them in the game?
I mean, they're indispensable, I mean, to the youth athlete. I mean, they are on the ground, they see these kids, they get to know these kids, they know their health histories, they know them by first and last name, and so they can tell, you know, they're there to witness injuries, they're there to triage injuries, and that has to happen for these young athletes because the culture of sports is rub some dirt on it and get back out there, and oftentimes that's not the right thing to do. So I mean, they're essential to having a successful practice to me, and my relationship with them is constant communication and just being available to answer any type of question that they've got and provide access for that kid to come see a specialist when they need to.